So Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 was released in 1989, and this is a semi-direct follow-up to Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, which also features the returning killer, Santa Claus killer Ricky, but in a much different way and different format, and this one does take a lot of different themes and different formats, although sticking to the slasher style of horror film. Does go in a few different directions. I have reviewed Silent Night, Deadly Nights 1 and 2 already on this channel last year, and the video is up on this channel. I'm going to link the, whatever you want to call it, the link to that video if you want to check out my thoughts on Silent Night, Deadly Nights 1 and 2. I did them together in one video though, but they're still up there for you to check out if you like. Obviously the only returning character is Ricky, however he's played by a different actor, Bill Moseley this time. We always love seeing Bill Moseley in horror films. However, I don't know if he portrays the best Ricky in the world. Not being his fault. I would say that's more of the direction of the film and the direction that the film decided to take. But what can you do with a third film in a trilogy so far that doesn't quite match up as linear as it could. What we have here is we have three main characters, Laura, Chris, who are brother and sister, and then we have Chris's girlfriend, Jenny, I'm pretty sure her name is. I apologize if that's wrong, but I think his girlfriend's name is Jenny. Laura is a blind girl, and she's our main character pretty much. And she has some like ESP, telekinetic, not telekinetic, like psychic capabilities. She's able to read other people's minds and kind of be guided in a sense by what other people are thinking. She can connect her mind to others, kind of thing, essentially. And Ricky from the last film basically is in a coma, and the doctors decide to do some ESP experiments on him as well, because in the last film his head and brain and skull were pretty much shattered, and his head was completely reconstructed into this like half sphere Frankenstein looking thing. I'm gonna say right off the bat, it looks ridiculous. Um, it totally turns this film into almost a comedy because Bill Moseley's walking around when he's out of this coma with all like Frankenstein zombie like, with this thing on his head. You can even see his brains and some red liquid that's supposed to resemble his blood or whatever liquid they have going on in there. It looks like a science experiment straight out of like a 40s film or a 50s sci-fi film or something like that. It's absolutely jokes. But they're running these experiments on him, and they're using Laura as a test subject pretty much, where they have a bunch of EEGs with wires connected to her heads. They're using her dreams, and at the beginning of the film, it is a dream sequence, and Ricky comes after Laura, sorry, in her dream, all Nightmare on Elm Street style, and this is how she wakes him up. So he eventually wakes up. He goes on another slasher spree. Because their minds are connected through ESP, they kind of know where each other are. Like the plot plays out in which the scientists experimenting on these two subjects are wondering if they can read each other's minds to the point where they know exactly which location they are at all times. And this is how Bill Moseley's character as Ricky follows Laura to her her family home, or wherever she ends up with her brother and her brother's girlfriend. And they were supposed to go to their grandmother's for Christmas dinner, Christmas Eve. This all takes place on Christmas Eve, and then Ricky follows them there, and along the way has a bunch of slash kills and stuff like that. And then you have the third act ending in this house, house of Laura and Chris's grandmother, and that's where you get your climax and all that. I have to say, for a follow-up, this film is not too bad. I like how it keeps the slasher elements, and I like how I'm kind of mixed on Ricky's return. I mean, they could have just featured a whole different Santa Claus. And I can't say I hate the whole Frankenstein Ricky thing, because like I said, it makes the film so much more hilarious and fun. So I would say it's mixed all around. I'm really confused on how Laura and Jesse or Jenny, Chris's girlfriend, are introduced, because as soon as they meet by Chris's car, and she goes to shake her hand and Jenny completely refuses, and then Laura makes some kind of comment like about their relationship. I think it's like, "Hey, I hear you and Chris are really hitting it off," or something like that, and then Jenny is like, "Oh, hey, I hear you give really great head," which is something really stupid to say at an introduction. And Jenny always has this kind of hostility towards Laura for no apparent reason. But later on in the movie, while her and Chris are taking a bath, she mentions, like, "Oh, I think Laurie doesn't like me very much." Well, you think? I mean, your whole first introduction was completely brutal and hostile and awkward. So, I mean, what are you expecting? The characters are good though. I like how they kind of gave Laura a different take with her being blind and her being psychic and dealing with ESP and stuff like that. And Ricky is not as good as he was in the second film, obviously, and we can't compare the first film to either of these because the first film is the classic one. But this film's okay. It's a good slasher film. It's a good Christmas horror. I'm gonna get to the fourth one, but this one at least still feels kind of Christmassy and feels along the vein of the first two, so can't really complain about it that much. But go check it out for yourself, and it's not all that bad. It's a good Christmas, good little Christmas slasher film, if I must say so myself. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back for more. Lots on the channel, so check those out. And until next review, have a good one, and cheers.